Hey there everybody, welcome back to my channel. Erin here. I want to do a part 2 to how to start a sewing business. And I was inspired to do this by a lot of comments and emails that I've been getting from you all that is kind of really showing me that there's a theme here that I want to talk to you about. Before I start this video, I want to let you know that I'm not intending this to be discouraging, and I'm just going off of my experience in my own business for this past year. You know, I have learned a lot. I have made a ton of mistakes in the process, and just some things that I've been seeing in my comments and the emails that I've been getting. I just kind of want to extend some advice here and understand that it's with the intention to help you, okay? But I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you. So I'm a straight shooter, and sometimes you need that. So the biggest theme of notes and comments and emails that I've been getting from people who've been inspired by the How to Start Sewing Business video are from people who are beginning and learning how to sew. I get a little bit afraid here that sometimes we're putting the cart before the horse, in that we're saying, I want to start a business, so I'm going to do this. I think when we get into a space where we're completely beginners and some of us don't even own sewing machines, that we're being a bit premature when it comes to starting a sewing business. And it's going to be very tough, because it is tough for people who already know how to sew. So there are so many different facets when it comes to starting a sewing business and running and maintaining and growing a business that have nothing to do with sewing. But the one thing that you can control is your own skill set. It's very important for you to learn your skills, to learn your sewing machine, learn how to work with different fabrics, work with different designs, learn your foundational techniques. You know, everything is not going to be a turn and hem, meaning you just fold the fabric under and hem it. That's not the solution all the time that we see on the internet. Sometimes you have to learn some different tips and tricks. You have to learn to work with non-traditional methods to get a quality type of product that you would feel proud to give your customers. There is a learning curve when it comes to running your own sewing business that is going to blow your mind. Things are going to come out of the woodwork that you had never planned on. If you think that running a sewing business is saying, hey, can you sew this skirt for me, this dress for me? Sure, I'm just going to grab some fabric, sew it up, and give it to you. That is this much to do with your business. This much. Even less when it comes to growing and maintaining and evolving your business. I want you to think about the very first step first, because skipping learning how to sew with quality, not just learning how to sew a straight line, is going to end you in a world of hurt and disappointment. One of the biggest things that you have to be able to forecast in your business is your growth. What do you want to do? So if you only learn how to do a gathered skirt, and I'm just using a gathered skirt because that's usually the most kind of common starting point for a lot of people. But if you start with a gathered skirt or a simple knit dress, then you're going to be hopefully so busy on your business with your skirts or your prom dresses that it's going to be very challenging for you to step back and learn more things so you can grow your business. So take the time, learn a hearty set of skills so that you can easily scale and grow in the years to come. And yes, you have to think in years when it comes to a business. So the first thing, if you're a beginner, the first thing that I would recommend for you to do is to kind of get an idea. Not nail it down. You are not married to this idea forever, but nail down what type of garment or item, whether it's purses or clutches or kids' clothes or whatever the case may be, what is it that you want to sew? And this will change. Okay, it's okay if it changes, but start there. Learn how to sew that thing. If you know that you want to make prom dresses, then you need to practice prom dresses. You need to work with laces. You need to work with sequins. You need to work with shiny, slippery fabrics that are in trend. You need to follow the trends. You need to start looking at what's forecasted for next year. You know, prom season just ended for 2016. But you've got to start looking ahead. Look at what the celebrities are doing, because that's what the kids are going to want to do. Look at these types of fabric that they're using. if you have these types of fabric in your area, you know what I mean? Just look at what you want to do and start practicing on that. Don't narrow yourself into only, you know, prom dresses or gathered skirts, but start there. That'll give you a foundation to build from. Learn your machine. Learn your machine. Learn your machine. This could not be understated. Learn your freaking sewing machine. And keep in mind, the more that you learn, the more that you know, the better your quality is. Potentially, the more you're going to be able to charge. It's more of taking time to build a foundation. You don't throw a house up without a foundation. Canvas is not going to stand. So build the foundation. Take the time to do that. So here's the part that I don't want to discourage you. And I would love to hear your opinions and comments. But the internet has given us a lot of power to be able to, myself included, to be able to do a lot of things. You know, there are people who have built careers based on the internet, whereas, you know, 10 years ago, it was all about get out of high school, go to college, or go to the military, get married, have kids, and then stay there until your retirement age, right? It's not like that anymore. The internet has afforded us so many other opportunities that are non-traditional. But the problem occurs when there are a flood of people who are underqualified to hit the market in any given area. You know, right now, business coaching is hot. Everybody wants to be a business coach, but they haven't grown a business. You know what I mean? So everybody wants to be a business coach where their business is how to grow a business. If you want to be a business coach, you need to show me how you've grown a niche business, how you've grown a sewing business, how you've grown a bakery, how you've grown a private school. Show me in a niche market, meaning a market that is specific. Show me how you've grown that, and then we can talk about how you can help me. But having a business about business, it doesn't provide as much value to me. And so I use that example to explain how it relates to sewing. If we have people who are beginner sewers, meaning not necessarily in time that you've been sewing, but in your skill set, and everybody saturates the market because there are only so many things that a beginning sewer can make. And everybody saturates the market with that item. I'll give you, I keep using gathered skirts because we see them everywhere. And right now, the African fabrics, the Ankara fabrics are really popular right now. But what happens after the Ankara skirts are out of season or out of trend? You're gonna have a lot of people who are out there who only know how to sew skirts, and they only know how to source African print fabrics because they're really inexpensive, and they haven't taken the time to learn how to source other types of fabrics and work with other types of fabrics and make different variations on their skirts, because they learn how to make a skirt, that's all they know how to make, and then they go with it. So when the trend dies, your business dies. If you don't have enough skill set to grow and move and evolve with the trends, then you're going to stay stuck. I had a hairstylist tell me sometimes that when you have the hairstylists who work in the individual rooms, like you can go to a building and everybody has their own room, and it's just that stylist in there. If they stay in there for 10, 15 years doing hair, then yes, they're well established. They have years of experience. But if they're not out there and being inspired and working off of and bouncing their ideas off of other stylists, like in a community salon setting, then they're not going to grow. Their skills are going to stay stuck in whatever year it is that they feel most comfortable, while the trends are going to bloom and grow and evolve and do all these things. They're going to stay stuck in their little room because that's all they know how to do. And the solution to that is education. You've got to work that much harder to stay educated on top of the trend. But if you build the skills in the first place, you don't have to master everything, but if you know how to do things, you can easily be more fluid. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do, is to take the time, build your skills so that you can be fluid. Another issue that happens when we have beginners enter into any market, and of course this is a sewing video, so I'm talking about sewing, we have an issue of quality. We have an issue of pricing, because a lot of beginners make the mistake, because I did it too, of pricing yourselves too low because you're trying to attract customers. I can do a whole nother video on that, but we're not going to get into detail on that right now. If you want to know about that, let me know in the comments. But you've got a flood of people who all have this small similar skill set, who have this small similar set of products that they're only able to sew, and they all are coming into the market undercutting each other. What happens is that you're devaluing the entire industry. You basically effing it up for everybody else. Just keep it real, okay? So when you have someone out there who's sewing a beautiful African print Ankara gathered skirt for let's just say $80, $75, $80, which I think is appropriate, but you have Susie Newcomer over here who comes out and says, oh, well, you know, I'm just starting my business and I just learned how to do this skirt and I'm super excited and I'm going to sell my skirt for $35. Oh my God, you just undercut everybody else off. And but you think you're winning, and you're not. You're saying, you might be saying, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to take their customers if I have, you know, the lowest prices. You're not here yet. You're not ready to run a business if you think that that's the right way to do things. Just stop. Like I said, there's so many other things. When you come in, you don't know enough to grow and evolve. You don't know enough to have a great quality. You are going to provide a product that is not of good quality. You're going to haphazardly price yourself. You're going to probably undercut the entire industry, and you're going to set, and most dangerously, you're going to set customer expectations that this is the norm when it's not. And customer expectation is so very important. So that's why I encourage you, take your time, learn your skills, plural, and give yourself time to grow. Study under other people, apprentice under other people. Just because it's easy for you to form a business and buy a domain and get a big cartel or a Shopify template, that doesn't mean that it is easy to start a business. It's easy to start a business, but it's not easy to start a business. Always remember that any business that you're in, any hobby really that you're in, but especially a business, it is a marathon. Don't try to get out here and do everything super fast just to get it done or just to beat somebody else. You're never gonna last, because you can't sprint forever. So like I said, I've been in business for a year, and officially for a year, and I've learned so very much. I can tell you, when I first started out, and I shared this with the people who have taken my business 5-day business email course, which I'll put a link to in the description box, but it's a free email course. But I shared this with them several months back, that I remember the first customer that I had, and I flubbed it up so bad. And one of my friends, who she also used to do my hair for a very long time, we've developed a friendship, and she still wears the garment that I made for her, and she was one of my first customers, and I hate it so bad. Every time I see her wear it, I just want to rip it off of her because I hate it. I can see all of the mistakes that I made, and I just like, ugh, gag, like, what was I thinking? And it was just a mess. And so those types of things that I did, I want to share with you, not to discourage you, but to encourage you to take your time, learn the craft, study business, study things, because if you dive headfirst into it, you're going to spend a lot of money and a lot of time trying to undo the things that you shouldn't have done in the first place. Ask me how I know. So I hope that this has been encouraging for you. I would love to hear your thoughts to this. Make sure you leave me a comment. If you want more videos like this, then leave me a comment. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about, and I'll be happy to make those videos for you if I have enough knowledge to do so. I'm not just going to throw some stuff out here and I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next video. Bye.